Hey nerdlings, Captain Elder here, and you're watching everybody's favorite couple on YouTube, Do You Nerd?
Hey nerdlings,
What up, nerdlings?
Tom and Lacey here with Do You Nerd. Actually, this is a very special video because this is all for you, Captain Algebra.
Oh, yeah.
So, real quick, let us ask, do you nerd for PS4? Alright, so we learned a little over a year ago that we are not the best people to be taking requests.
Yes, because we started out saying, hey, let us know what you want to see. And then we realized we won't do it.
It's
Don't ask.
we kept putting it on the back burner, and then about a year passed. So it's like, all right, we need to buckle down. Now, real quick, guys, if you have not checked out Captain Algebra, he is a great YouTuber. He does some fun videos like VGM unboxings and everything,
And
some
streamings.
pickups. But yes, his streams are fantastic. He's so great about engaging everyone in the chat that comes in there. Plus, he plays really awesome games, and he's pretty good at those games too.
He inspires some people to go back to
That
childhood
is very
games
true.
and play them.
Very true.
And beat them.
All right. So he had requested to see our PS4 collection, and after you check out this video, be sure to hit him up on his channel. Links will be in the description below. So let's get started.
Let's get started.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks.
Now, of course, we have the fairly
things you will need for this video.
nice a PS4 console, multiple controllers.
I love you, Rosanna.
Of course, we have a pretty standard PS4 console. We didn't get the Pro yet, although, you know, we are not opposed to getting the Pro.
So if any of you have one just lying around and you want to send it over to Do You Nerd, we'll give you a shout out.
But we do like to get the various iterations of the systems.
When they're cheaper.
But as for now, this is the one system we have. And we have just 3 controllers for it. Of course, it came with the black controller.
I'll do a little Vanna White for you guys.
And the other 2 controllers were all her choosing. Because first of all, I believe she wanted the blue one.
I did, because that blue is one of my favorite colors. And in the PlayStation 3, that was the first thing he bought me, was a blue controller. And my DS was blue that you bought me.
So she wanted to carry that tradition
carry on
over.
the tradition.
And then there was the gold controller, which I may be wrong about this, but I think this might have been a GameStop.
I think it was a GameStop exclusive. We just needed an extra controller at the time, and we were really good friends with the manager there. And he's like, "Hey, this was actually his controller." And he's like, "I just traded this into the store, so I know it's good." And I was like, "Ooh, the gold's really pretty." So
and yeah, so far, true to his word, it has worked wonders.
so far, there's only, and like he said, I'm usually the one who picks out colors. There's only one controller I want left out there, and it was like a pretty like bluish, tealish color with like purple accents. GameStop had it, and then they sold out, and they've never gotten any more in.
One more thing, even though this wasn't specifically for the PS4, I believe you could use the PS3 on this as well. We do have a PlayStation TV unit, and this is more for us to help be able to play some of those Vita games without having to be hunched over on the Vita. All right, well, let's get this out of the way and get to the games. Are you guys ready for this?
Y'all ready
Holy
for
cow.
this?
So real quick, I just want to say that I did not realize we had a fairly decent PS4 collection until we started rounding everything up, but it's like, wow. So we're going to try to get through these fairly quick because I don't know the best way to show these. So starting off...
So here's our collection. Okay, next, moving on.
So we got the Assassin's Creed games, starting with Unity and Syndicate, and then most recently, Origins and Odyssey, which so recent, we have not taken them out of the plastic yet.
Yes.
Now, we have long been fans of the Assassin's Creed games.
We do love the Assassin's Creed games.
In fact, such fans...
that I love my plushies. So, and I also like female figures whenever they come out because I don't feel like there's enough of them. So when there was a female Eevee assassin, I had to jump on it. So he got that for me at the store. We got Cassandra, the female from the Assassin's Odyssey. So that was also exciting. And then it's not an Assassin's game, but to kind of go along with it, because I like my females, Emma plushies, because she's female and she's plushy, Aloy from Zero Horizon Dawn event, Horizon Zero Dawn.
That's quite a name.
It is a name.
Some of these we would just pick up because we would find them really cheap and it looked interesting, like Bound by Flame. And for our kiddo, she likes the shooters, so Call of Duty Ghosts.
Pew pew.
We had a lot of fun with Deadpool. Oh, my gosh. I mean, we're Deadpool
It is
fans
everything you want
anyway.
from Deadpool, from a comic, thrown into a video game, and yeah.
All the cameos
amazing.
by Marvel characters in there was fantastic.
Yeah.
What a lot of fun. One that I'm looking forward to us playing together is Diablo 3. I think that we'll have a lot of fun working on that once we finally get to it.
I don't know, like, all I got is a pew pew sound, but like, clank clank, like, I don't know, sword, clank clank.
Now, this is one that actually kind of disappointed you because you were really excited about playing Disney Infinity.
I was.
But they didn't really implement it all that well. They usually kind of prevented you from using certain characters in certain stages.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's like, they did better in the sense that your figure did better than what amiibos do. You actually get to play as that character. But I think it would have been a lot more fun if you could have whatever character you had and you scanned it into the game so you can be running around Marvel with a Disney princess or something. Of course, I mean, now they probably would let you because Disney owns everything. But, you know, that's why I was disappointed because your figures had to stay with their games. So the Marvel figures had to stay with the Marvel game and, you know, the Star Wars had to stay with the Star Wars game. So that was kind of...
One that I believe your dad was really excited for me to try out was Doom. And got some RPG love here with Dragon Quest Heroes, and then Final Fantasy Type 0 HD, as well as the ultimate boy band road trip with Final Fantasy 15.
I love the commercial for that thing. It is so a boy band video.
Now, back when we were playing a little more online, we had an absolute blast with Friday the 13th, the game. We're big fans of the series,
Yes.
and initially we did have it digitally, but this was one of those
I'm just going to put this over here.
rare instances where we went out and actually bought the physical game once it was available. All right, a lot of Game of the Year choices for many players. God of War, the latest one. Of course, right up there. Doesn't get much bigger than Grand Theft Auto 5 either.
We are Scooter Brothers! Scooter Brothers!
Oh, Trevor, love you.
A game that we had actually won from a contest from fellow YouTuber. I believe that was Ken's Games Collection, was Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice.
So exciting for a crazy lady to play with.
And I have always been a fan of the King's Quest game. I've actually been looking forward to this one because this was nice in that it took all of the episodic content and put it all into one place.
I quickly read the back of this. It said, The Return of the Last Jedi. I was like, what the heck? What are you talking about? So sorry. That's what happens when you quickly look over words.
Now, we had played this one on PS3, but
Yes.
we loved it so much we did pick it up, the remastered version. But we, as you can see by the cellophane, we still have not sat down to play through it again. But we have played through it on PS3. Now, this was one that I got for you to try out.
Yes.
Life is Strange.
And I have not got to it yet.
But soon would be a good time, too, because
Yes.
got a sequel coming.
Yes, and he picked this up for me because I loved Heavy Rain so much, and this is in the kind of the same vein as Heavy Rain. So I was very excited for this, but then I even have my own backlog.
I guess when someone else is hogging a PS4.
I know.
Another win. This one from Gaming Ain't Easy, The Last Guardian.
With the dog bird. I love my dog bird. He's so cute.
We are such fans of the Lego
Yes.
games, and anytime they come out, we always, well, I say we hurry to buy them, but we buy the last one, which is usually at the $20
Yes.
mark by the time the new one
Yeah.
comes out. Now, these are games that typically when we play them, we 100%
We do. And this was a series that we started playing together right when we first started dating. And he was like, let's try a Lego game, because he wanted to get us to playing something together. And I honestly had always been under the impression that Legos, they're like kid games. And so I thought they would be like little kiddie games. He's like, no, trust me, they're fun. And it was Lego Star Wars. So yeah, then it made me an instant fan of the Lego games. So that's something we always know we're always going to play. We always have a game to play together.
We're not done yet.
No,
I
can
think
you still see me?
now she's been a fan of this series, but I think she's still a little nervous about trying this one out.
That's because there's new people in it, but I love Mass Effect. 2 was my favorite. 3 was okay. I never actually played the first one, but when you played Mass Effect 2, you got to, like, play the first one, where, like, they turned it into a comic book, so felt like I was caught up. But yeah, since this one has different characters in it, and that's what I loved about Mass Effect, I've been a little nervous of starting this one. And I haven't heard good things about it.
Speaking of not hearing good things, the game that disappointed so many people, Mighty Number 9. It was the Mega Man that everyone thought they wanted until they got it, and it was not. You know, this one's very mixed. A lot of people were disappointed by it. The Order, 1886. This was a fairly fun game.
I liked it. I thought it was fun.
What I really liked about it was the world and the lore, though. And I really would have loved to have seen them expand on that some more. It's a shame that we probably won't get another one because it had a really great world and great characters, too. It was kind of one of those, it was a great game, just done not so great.
Yeah, I liked it, though. I thought it was fun.
Another one for the kiddo. She loves playing online. So Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare 2. And she's put some hours into that.
Yeah, she has.
Rad Rogers. This was a fun little pickup. I love all the tongue-in-cheek humor in this. If you have not checked that out, it's it's good fun. The kiddo's not the only one seeking hours into games because, boom. Oh, we waited so long for this one.
Yes.
We loved Red Dead Redemption.
We did.
And we waited and waited forever for a sequel. You know, I honestly had hoped they would do an HD re-release of the first one to kind of, you know, catch us back up, even though this is a prequel.
I'm still holding out that they will, though.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Fun fact, by the way, I used some of my GameStop credit, and I got this brand new for $10, which is pretty cool. This was a cheapo one that we picked up, I think at one of the Toys R Us before they closed.
Probably.
Again, just kind of a fun-looking game. I think we got it for like $5 maybe around the time.
Very cheap.
Secret of Mana, the remaster. Let's leave it at that. The Sims 4.
Yeah.
She was
Sims
looking
3
forward
was
to that one.
so much fun, but this one didn't really play like a Sims game. The other one honestly played like Sims on the Sims 3 played like a Sims computer game on your console. This one, they changed up the mechanics a little, way too much. They changed up the way you did things, the way you, And I even bought day one. I bought this day one, and I bought all the I think it was like 40 or some odd dollars worth of all the DLC all at once because it was like vampires and extra clothes and all kinds of fun stuff. Because I was like, yes, I'm gonna love.
She's not bitter.
Nope.
Now she is a big fan of the Telltale games.
I love Telltale
and
games.
of course, unfortunately, Telltale, the studio, is now gone. But one that we picked up just to try out was Tales from Borderland. And again, this is one of those, I believe when it came out, I want to say it was an episodic one, but with the Telltale games, we were real big about waiting until you had like the full collection. Now, this we picked up because we could not resist that 80s charm. You've got things like He-Man fighting G.I. Joes, all kinds of stuff from your toy box.
It's pretty much what you did on a Saturday morning when your cartoons were over. Then you got your toys out and you were like, pew, 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 pew.
So this was a neat little find.
Why everything with me pew-pews. Everything pew-pews.
So a series that carried over from the PS3.
I go through withdrawals when we finish this series.
She really does.
Every time we finish a game, it's like a couple weeks afterwards, and I'm like, I need some more Uncharted. I need some more Nathan Drake.
But they are great games. And 4 was really well done. We didn't know what to think after, you know, kind of the first trilogy. The first trilogy really wrapped things up fairly nicely.
It did. Yeah.
So, you know, kind of introducing new characters and everything. We went into it a little bit skeptical, but had a great time.
I will honestly say with that, because I don't want to spoil it for anybody, it's kind of what you wanted in another game, like a continuation game. It was exactly what you wanted to see. So.
And we had so much fun with Until Dawn.
Oh my gosh, yes. I think after we finished it, we went back and kind of like with the Choose Your Own Adventure book, you write down what the choices that you made and did the complete opposite and, you know, see how things happened. And we wanted to see if we could save this person instead of let them die or let this one die. And, you know, so oh my gosh, yeah, we played this one for a while.
The butterfly effect in effect in that game.
The motion capture acting was really, really good. I mean, they did a great job getting their, you know, the likenesses, their voices. I mean, it really did feel like you were watching the actors literally do everything.
Who knew that Freddie Mercury, a.k.a. Rami Malek, could do horror so well?
I'm just joshing you.
I'm just joshing you.
Oh, best part. This was one that you were very interested in, just from the looks of vampire.
Yes, because I love vampires, and so I thought, hey, let's have a vampire game.
And they don't look like they're sparkly, so it's got that going for it.
What's wrong with sparkly things?
Jumping back on that Telltale train, we have The Walking Dead Season 2. Now, you had played Season 1.
Season 1. I have not gotten in. I have not played yet Season 2.
But
I'm looking forward to it.
You played Season 1 on PS3,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And you actually wanted to revisit it on PS4 before you started this one.
I did. I actually wanted you to play it so that you could get a feel for it, but
so
I
can go through and be a jerk to everyone.
He probably would be. But that way, I would get like a refresher course, but let him experience it.
And something that I've not yet started because I am afraid of the time I will sink into it is The Witcher 3.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh my gosh.
I've seen a lot of fan art from this game, and it looks really awesome, so I'm looking forward to it.
Everything about this looks so beautiful, but I'm scared of the time that'll drop into it. And last of the typical stuff, we're not done yet. But
don't go nowhere.
Here is your Wolf Among Us.
I know, it was that actually was one of the things that kind of got me into the Telltale games, and it was a lot of fun because it's very comic booky and very like fun actiony stuff. So I really enjoyed it. I love that game.
And speaking of comic booky, this is based on the comic series Fables, and they just have a lot of fun with kind of making all the Grimm's fairy tales and fables that you grew up knowing, kind of making them dark.
I actually wanted them to turn this into a TV show, and I would just watch it because it was very fun watching like your normal characters living in, the world or whatever. But this was another game that I went through a couple of times and made different choices.
That's true.
So, can you still see me?
Well, what else could we possibly have?
Black cases? What the heck are black cases for? That is not PS4.
So here's something that I do. Whenever we download a game and we have it digitally on the PS4, I like to make false covers for them, put them in black cases so it doesn't look like a typical PS4 case, put them on the shelf, and that makes it a lot easier for whenever we have people over to see what games we have instead of like, well, we've got all of these games. Oh, wait, here, let me try to remember and list off all the digital
that
ones.
That way, or, like some people would put them in like a notebook or whatever, and it's like, that's not as much fun. It doesn't really show off how many games you actually do have. So it's a nice visual representation. It's just aesthetically pleasing, in my opinion.
Yeah, and plus, like you said, when people have it written down in a notebook, it's kind of hard to tell what that game is about. So at least this gives them, a little bit of cover art to look at. Now, I will say there are a few exceptions because we did have a fair amount of games digitally that we got when we had PlayStation Plus. Currently, we have not renewed that. So, since those are games that you can only play while you have PlayStation Plus, we never made cases for them because it's like, it doesn't really count that way. I had initially done Saturday Morning RPG because I missed out on the limited run release. But we got it on Switch, so in all honesty...
And we got action figures with it.
I may not keep this digital game anymore. But I picked up Strider because that's a fun one. A nice revisit to the classic. I'd got this one for her, Surgeon Simulator A&E.
It is hard, and not
man,
for the reasons you think it is. It's not hard because... it's just a hard game to play. The controls, like you've got your scalpel and you're trying to cut, and it's like it's floating in the air, and you're trying to get it down. Just imagine yourself like drunk, and someone has a hold of your arm, and you're trying to cut, and it just,
Tesla Grad. A lot of these I would usually see like quick trailers of online, and whenever they were cheap enough, I would be like, yeah, I'll give it a shot.
We do participate in the flash sales a lot when the games are like $2.99, 99 cents.
Great.
Yeah, so.
Another one for the kiddo, the original Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare.
I played the original on the computer. I remember that one a long time ago.
Now, a game that I played so much. I had such a blast with Pac-Man 256. What a great game. So real quick, it's a endless board of Pac-Man. The bottom is being glitched out,
I know, it's
because
so cute looking.
You're on level 256, so you've got that glitch going, and you're racing to try to get away from it. You still have to avoid ghosts. You can pick up all kinds of power-ups like lasers, little tiny Pac-Man that go and eat everything. But it's a score-based game. You're just trying to see how long you can survive and how high you can get that score. All right, so we had actually picked this up in a flash sale. This was when Assassin's Creed did some like fun little side-scrolling games, and there were 3 of them. And I was very hesitant about buying it digitally because I really wanted a physical copy. Any of these that I could get physically, I would rather have.
And we do too sometimes. Sometimes when we do find them out cheap enough, we will get them physically and then get rid of this and kind of even almost delete the file on the PS just to give us more space.
So the disappointing thing was a flash sale came about. We got this one really cheap. I went ahead and got it. And then it was just a couple of months later, and I started seeing the 3-pack on disc in stores.
Yeah.
So that was a shame. Another flash sale one, I believe Arcania, The Complete Tale. And one from my childhood, Another World. Of course, when I was playing it, it was out of this world. Me and a buddy, we took turns working on this one, and we eventually finished it back on Super Nintendo, and oh my gosh. There were choice words many, many times. Last stage, the lever. Don't pick the wrong one. Just saying. All right, another flash sale beauty, Chronos.
I think we need to have a therapy session about this one.
Probably. And Deponia, this one looked like a lot of fun. I still haven't sat down and played it because I suffer from the same problem of not looking at the games library, so I forget the digital games that we have on there. But a classic indie title.
Wait till you hear it.
These were both flash sale games. Murdered Soul Suspects, and then Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishment.
That's for you to play, for me to watch.
And those are ones that we're always on the lookout for. If we can find real cheap, we'll delete the digital, keep the original.
Yes.
This was the game that we actually got, and that's why it's in a different colored one. But we got this game free digitally when we bought our PS4.
Yeah.
And holy cow, what a great game.
It's beautiful.
Loved this game. The psychedelic missions.
My gosh. I think one of your favorite things to do, though, is to get on the elephant and just run through town or the bad guys, and you just see them flying.
So long, sucker.
I can only imagine what that would look like if you're like off in the distance and you just see bad guys. Wah, wah!
You know what it looks like? The bad guys are like, hey, Tom's over there. Let's go get a beer.
What about that weird little helicopter thing that you'd always get on and go as high as you could?
Oh, forget about fast travel. Once I found that copter, I would fast travel to the copter and just fly it wherever. And then another indie title that I had to pick up to try was Dust: An Elysian Tale. So again, just
I'm allergic to dust.
Well, you better keep away from that one.
I don't touch it.
So again, just some digital games from our collection in their false cases to make it a little easier to remember that we have them, even though that does not work at all for us.
And we actually do this for all the systems, not just PlayStation 4. We do it for 3, the Wii, Wii U, any of our systems that you can get digital games for, we will do this for, just so, and even DS, we've done it for a couple of DS games that we've got. That way it just makes it easier for people to really identify what we have.
All right. Now this little stack right here is the majority of, with a few exceptions, our limited run games. Now typically with limited run we go for the games that we're actually interested in instead of trying to get a full set, because that would be insane. That being said, these first 3, we actually got these in a bundle from limited run. We were going for a different game. These kind of came with it. It was the only way to get that other game.
Yeah, because we missed out because I think our internet screwed up at the time. We were out of town and we were using the hotel internet, and we clicked the button and then it glitched, it just blinked out, and then we came back and it was gone. So it's like, well, I guess we're getting the big bundle this time.
The funny thing is, when we got these, we were like, oh yeah. When we ordered these, we were like, "Oh yeah, you know what? We'll just sell those off because we weren't
recoup some of the money because it was more expensive."
But then the problem is, if you haven't noticed, it's kind of hard for us to sell off stuff if it's not a double. So that's why we still have them, and that's why they're still sealed.
You know what's funny is I knew we weren't going to do that, and I think he was just saying that to make me feel better, even though I knew we weren't going to sell them. He's like, "Don't worry, honey, we'll sell it to recoup." And in my head, I'm going, "No, we won't. No, we won't." I love you.
Yeah. Now, some of these we have shown off in videos before, so just to run through them real quick.
Yeah, we'll do it real fast.
We got Typo Man, Yeast Origin,
Why,
Wonder Boy, The Dragon's Trap. This is the one that you can do the updated graphics, or the retro graphics, or the music, or a combination of either one.
Oh, that's right, because you can also, I believe, you can switch the cover around and have the new version or the old version.
A game that wants to be Zelda so bad, Oceanhorn, definitely had to go for that one.
I thought you were going to say, oh shit.
Now, we had this digitally, but once it was on a disc, we couldn't resist. Oregon Trail, the complete edition.
organ, like innard
body
organs.
because it's zombies.
The trailer, if you guys have never watched the trailer for this, it is hilarious.
The live action one.
I will say, if Future Tom can find that link, you need to put it in there, Future Tom. Don't let me down.
And going with a good story game and showing Tim Schafer some love, we got Broken Age.
Brokeback Mountain.
And so we can battle each other. Wow.
Sorry.
Double Dragon 4.
In the words of today's teenagers, I'm so random.
And then we also had Mamador. Now this one looks so cool. I'm very excited to give this one a go. I think that you are really going to like the visual style in it.
She looks cool, I will say that. Like, she's got a mouth in her throat or something going on. I don't know, but she looks really neat. I like the way she looks.
This one got packed in there. This was actually one of the other ones. World of Final Fantasy. So that goes in the other stack. Not limited run.
The normal game stack?
Correct. Okay, so now a quick look at some of the either big box stuff or special edition stuff, just for fun.
Funsies!
So we got Dragon's Crown Pro. Now this came in that nice steelbook with the fairy booty.
There it is. I'm surprised she still has paint on her butt. Fairy booty. Who doesn't like to rub fairy booty?
And then Rise of the Tomb Raider. So we got this. I think there's supposed to be a slipcover over it, which unfortunately we don't have. But we did get the book because it's got all that cool artwork in it and everything, all the fun little
pictures. And the outside of it looks like a very well-worn leather-bound book. Since
we love our Lego games, we got the deluxe edition of Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens.
Okay, so to go along with the Lego Star Wars Special Edition one, we still had some very good friends at GameStop. They have since moved on to other ventures, but they had a countdown clock for the Lego game, and I said, what do I have to do to get that countdown clock? And he reached over, grabbed it, and said, nothing. So, blah-da, there it is. Now, the only crappy thing is the clock, you can't do anything with it now. Like, I was hoping that you could, like, change it to, you know, like, regular clock, read the time, or even just start a new countdown, like start the countdown over and count down to like a vacation or whatever. No, can't do anything with it. But it's kind of neat. You've got BB-8 on the back with the date of when it's coming out and everything, and then, you know, just some fun figures on there. So it's a fun thing to have in the collection. It just, you can't do anything now.
And then we actually got the deluxe edition of Song of the Deep. Now this one, it comes in a nice little steel book. And it comes with a storybook. And your sister read the storybook and absolutely fell in love with it before ever even seeing anything to do with the game.
Yes.
Alright, so that limited run game we were talking about earlier, we did a video all about Night Trap. So, on the PS4. And we had some technical issues when trying to play the audio cassette tape. Alright, another video that I believe we did was for the Undertale Collector's Edition. Mm-hmm. And this was... I think that you were sold on this just by the lock-in alone.
Pretty much anytime he wants something that is from Limited Run and it comes with things, he knows he can usually get it because he'll just send me the link. I'm like, that's so cool, get it! So, yeah.
Now, this was actually from Fan Gamer, just to clarify, but you should also check them out because when they're not doing fun stuff like this, collector's editions like this, they have a lot of cool stuff over there, too.
Yeah, they really do. So yes, like he was saying, some of these we've already done videos for, so go back and watch those videos if you haven't yet.
Now, this was one of our videos that when we did an unboxing of this, it actually had a ton of views, and we were shocked.
That doesn't mean we don't want more views.
But, yeah, so we got the Fallout 4 Game of the Year edition with the Pip-Boy in there. And unfortunately, you know, I still suffered from a lot of the same issues trying to play this Fallout as I did with previous ones, with the game freezing and losing my saves, so I didn't get very far in this. Definitely not as far as I would have liked to have.
I think we've picked it up since then on Xbox, and we just haven't, because we've heard from a lot of people that Xbox wasn't as glitchy as 4, so we just haven't got around to trying it yet, which is a shame, because I'm really looking forward to it.
We did get the starter pack
way too many
for Lego Dimensions on the PS4.
We actually haven't played Lego Dimensions yet because our original goal, kind of like the Amiibo, when it first came out, there was not that many. So I was like, okay, I don't want to play it yet until we get all the figures we want. But then, like Amiibo, they kept coming out with figures and coming out with figures, and so yeah. We haven't played it yet. Once again, one of our friends from GameStop, he asked us if we were interested in the Lego Dimensions display that they used to have for like a year or something,
so.
and decided he didn't want it anymore, but he knew we were the perfect people to have for it. So it's kind of neat. The only problem is we can't get into it, and the pieces have all since broken off, and so they're not displayed quite right in there.
The next two are some big box collections.
Big box.
Now, we did do an unboxing of
Mila Kunis.
Ni no Kuni 2,
Mila Kunis.
Revenant Kingdom, and this had a ton of fun stuff in it.
It did, and I love those little guys on the sides, those little, like, are they sprites, or I don't know what they were, but they're adorable.
And along with the nice big box, it did come with a gorgeous little steel book.
Those are always fun to collect.
Everyone loves their steel books.
Yes. It's huge!
Now, the next big box one is Resident Evil 7 Biohazard Collector's Edition. Now, we actually bought this shortly before we started doing Do You Nerd.
Yes.
So we did not do an unboxing of this. If you guys are ever curious to see what's inside, we'll take note of that, and maybe a couple of years from now, we'll actually do that video, right, Cap?
This actually, we didn't even have the VR yet when we bought this one. And we didn't know if we were going to get one, but literally the stuff this thing came with was what made me want it. So we put it on, we basically used the pre-order as a layaway, and we pre-ordered it and then just went in and made payments on it because it was a little pricey. But I loved all the stuff that came with it, and it's so cool.
Now you guys just need to help me convince her to play through this game with the VR.
That's a you thing. No way, I don't need them popping in my face. I've played the little demo of it. It freaks me the hell out.
And with that one, it came with a nice steel book as well, amidst all the stuff in there. Okay, so that Resident Evil 7 was the perfect segue into
the VR!
Oh, so here's the thing. We were suckers.
Yeah.
And we bought this fairly shortly after it came out.
And why are we suckers? It's me. It's me.
Yeah.
It was
check it out, guys. Check it out. It wasn't me this time.
No, it was all me. It was all because we went to GameStop one day, and there was a PlayStation rep there, and he was actually demoing the VR. So I put it on. It looked awesome. It was very lifelike. And then while he was demonstrating it for himself, I was talking to the rep and asking him all kinds of questions about it. And I really did like the fact that you can see on the TV what you're seeing in here. That's not VR related. You know, you don't get to see it all in the 3D or whatever. But whatever you're looking at on here, you see it on the screen. So if you turn your head and look at behind you, then the TV does the same thing. So that was like, well, if there are VR games, he can play them and I can watch them. Sharks don't phase Tom.
It's honestly probably been a good year since we've played this, which kind of brings us back to why we were suckers. Pretty much we got this way too early. When we got this, hardly anybody was online. There were barely any VR games. There was like a stack that you could fit in your hands. There just wasn't a whole lot of support, a lot of push for it. Not a lot of people had it. Not a lot of people knew about it. And not a lot of people seemed all that interested in it. And by the time we were kind of done with it, we're like, whatever, it's a novelty, it's worn off. That's when I started seeing everyone online picking up their VRs for much, much better prices. So kudos to you guys, by the way.
Normally, we're the ones who always wait on everything. And
so, and then everyone's like playing games online, and we're just like, well, you know, we're kind of over it already. And it's like, oh my gosh. So that was a big fail on our part.
Yes.
As you can see, though, we have this nice station that holds the VR headset itself.
Which is not, I mean, it's literally just a head dock thing for it.
And then it also holds 2 of the Move controllers. We already had those for the PS3 era. And it also holds 1 of your standard controllers.
The nice thing about this part, though, is it does charge your Move and your regular controller. So that is pretty neat. So we actually keep the VR thing plugged in all the time. And constantly charging one of these. And that way, because we only have 1 charging cable for the other controller. So allows us to charge multiple things at once.
We do have some digital games that I have yet to make some covers for and do the false boxes for. Mostly because a lot of those games, we really did buy those digitally as placeholders. Things like Job Simulator.
Which is so much fun.
We're like, alright, we'll go ahead and get the digital version of this. But then, once we find a physical copy, we'll just buy that. Yeah, good luck with that.
Hey, what the? Ooh, message.
Things like Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. That's a fun one.
That one is a lot of
everybody
fun.
interacting together. Real quick, if you don't know, the person in the VR is seeing different stuff from what the people on TV are seeing on the TV. And you have to work with them. If I'm wearing the VR, I have to describe to her what I'm seeing.
Now the person with the VR, correct me if I'm wrong, you're the one trying to defuse a bomb.
Yes.
And then there's a manual, you can either look it online or print it off, basically download the manual and print it off, which we did that. And so the person with the VR is trying, like I'm seeing 4 wires, it's red, green, blue, orange, and then so you flip through the manual to figure out which order to cut those in.
The point is, you have to cooperate with one another, and you have to be very clear with what you're seeing, and you have to be very clear with the instructions that you're finding in the manual.
Yeah, because we can't see the bomb.
It's a great co-op game.
Yes.
But we did buy some on disc. Of course, we got the typical VR Worlds and just the demo disc.
Yeah.
Because they're great pieces to have whenever someone comes over and wants to try the VR out for the first time.
It definitely gives you a good example of the things that the VR can do.
And something that she wanted was actually the Star Wars Battlefront Deluxe Edition.
For one reason only.
The VR.
For the VR, because you could sit inside the TIE fighters, and it was really cool. Because that was one of the things that I demoed there, and I looked down and I'm wearing the flight suit, and it's super cool. So that was why I wanted that game.
Kamikaze attack, I like it.
And this was one of the games that kind of helped burn us out on VR, was Star Trek Bridge Crew. We are both Star Trek fans.
We have been waiting and waiting for this because the trailer made it look so cool, and we watched actual Star Trek people playing the game. That was really a lot of fun.
But the idea of operating as a crew, working together at all the various bridge stations, sounded amazing. Here's the problem. When we had it, you could only do that online unless you had a bunch of systems and VR units in the same room linked together, and no one else was playing it. And around the time when we were done with VR, that's when people started talking about playing this and how much fun they were having. It's like,
the other problem
that would have been nice.
I had with it was the tutorial was horrible because they threw you into it. Like there's a tutorial where you sat in a classroom and there was a teacher in front of you and he explained how to do things. If you were working this station or working this station, this is what you're going to do. And that was it. And then they throw you into the game. There's no like hands-on tutorial to figure out how to play things, or if there was, I couldn't find it. So I never felt comfortable enough to get online and play with anyone because I didn't know what I was doing. I couldn't figure anything out.
Until Dawn Rush of Blood is a shooter roller coaster simulator in VR. And it's a lot of fun. We definitely have a blast showing this one off to people. Just a funny little notation on this. What happened the very first time you ever tried this in VR?
So I didn't even get to the game, and it's dark, and you're looking around this dilapidated like warehouse, and you start hearing back behind you someone singing Frere Jacques.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Okay. Nope. And they're right there, and I went, nope. Took it off and put it down. What was it, like 30 seconds?
If that.
30 seconds worth of playtime, and I was like, nope. But I was a big brave dog, and the next day, literally during the day, I was like, all right, let me try this again.
All right, well, the last disc-based game that we have for the VR is her Werewolves Within.
One of my favorites. This game is so much fun, but you do have to be able to play it with other people. There is absolutely no playing it by yourself. If you are by yourself, you're sitting around a campfire waiting for other people to show up. But this game is basically a how well can you lie kind of a game. Like, you start off the game and it'll tell you if you're the werewolf or if you're a villager or if you're any other. There's a couple other special characters, but everyone sees you as an avatar, and you're trying to lie and convince them you're not the werewolf. And if you get found out that you're the werewolf, which is bad, then you lose the game. But if you can end the game and they didn't find out that you're the werewolf, then you win. And it's just a lot of fun. But it is one of those things, everyone sits around a campfire and asks questions, but it's very much a conversation game. You can literally just have conversations and talk to people without even going through playing the game. I love that game. It's so fun.
Well, we did it, Cap. We made it. How long was this video? Ridiculously long, I bet. But
you asked for it. You better have watched the whole thing.
It's just because we have a lot of stuff, and honestly, if you hadn't requested it, well, I mean, we probably didn't have this much stuff like a year ago. But if you hadn't requested it, we wouldn't have known just how much stuff we have for the PS4.
I know.
And that's kind of nuts because I never realized this, which means we need to stop yammering on and go work on some of these games because there's way too many. There's way more than I thought.
It was kind of funny because we were going through and, getting the games off the shelf, and then we would walk around the game room and be like, oh crap, well this is a PS4. Oh, well this is PS4. It was all over the place.
Well, nerdlings, definitely leave a like if you happen to like the video, and drop those comments about anything here you saw. You can give us a hard time for some of the games that we haven't got to yet, but trust me, they are on the list. We will get to them someday. Maybe not.
There's some Atari games you still haven't played.
Anyway, be sure to subscribe so that you can see what other requests we are taking forever to get around to. And hit that notification bell because you never know when we will get to that request so that you can finally see it all. And again, Captain Algebra, I really hope you enjoyed going through all this stuff with us, and I hope you saw some good stuff, maybe some stuff that you forgot about and you need to, head on over to Amazon and start picking up for yourself.
Yeah.
And I'll turn it over to you.
Don't forget to like us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for those closer upper pictures to see what we're doing out and about in the real world, and to let you know that YouTube has dropped a video just in case YouTube is mean and does not tell you that YouTube has dropped a video. And hi, what do you want? Redheads unite. And don't forget to hit us up over on TeePublic because we got merchandise.
And you know what? If you hit up Cap, so does he.
Yeah, Cap's got merch too. So, we got stuff. So, nerdlings, don't forget, if we like it,
we nerd it for PS4.
Didn't Discart want you to do a Zelda video? Covering up your shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. I'm a nerdling.
Mine's a reveal, though.
I know yours is a reveal. Hey, Cap, just for you. Stop crying. Okay.
Ready? Of the familiar. Just because we're familiar with that concept. Done Super Mario,
Super Mario Brothers.